All right, we're going to learn today how to make a flyer using Google Draw. Here's an example of the flyer. And as you see, it looks quite professional, really good. You could create something pretty nice in Google Docs, but it just looks a lot better in Google Draw. So let me show you how to make this. First of all, as I've showed you before, to get to Google Draw, you go to New, go down to More, and you'll see it as your second choice, Google Drawings. Once you open up Google Drawings, it will automatically look like this. Well, a piece of paper doesn't have the same dimensions. So we want to make our paper on Google Draw look like a piece of paper. First things first, you go to File, and go down to Page Setup. It's always set to 4:3. We're going to change that. Now there's a few choices here, but we don't want any of the choices. We want custom. A piece of paper is 8.5 by 11. So we're going to delete the 10 and put 8.5. Delete the 7.5. You might have something different. And put 11. Now you could change this, but we want it to be inches. And press OK. Now what you'll see on your screen looks the same dimensions as a regular piece of paper. So if we were to print it, it would be perfect. Now since this is going to be a flyer about soccer, we're going to put soccer flyer for the name. Now, as I told you yesterday, if you see the gray and white squares, it is transparent. We don't want it transparent. We want it to have a white background. So to get background, press Control, click on the paper, then you can let go of Control, and go to Background and just choose white. Okay, now to make a nice looking title, we're not going to put a text box. So up here, you can make a text box quite easily. But for a nice title, we're going to do something called word art. I want you to go up to Insert and choose Word Art. And you're going to type the title. The title is Family. Make sure you spell it right, comma, Friends, comma, and now if you press Return, that's all that you'll see. I want a second line. I'm going to double click on it. To get a second line, it says right here, use Enter to save, which I just did, which is like Return. Use Shift Enter for multiple lines. Okay, so Shift Enter. Now I can let go of Shift. And now I get to the second line, and I'm going to write soccer players. And now press Return. So that looks really nice. Looks similar to a text box. You can change the size, but I do warn you, if you sometimes you don't want to skew the letters. It doesn't look the same, so I'm going to go to Undo. If you want to make it smaller or bigger, just like a picture, you want to use the corner, but corner doesn't keep it the same dimensions. I'm going to go to Undo, Undo. Instead, press the Shift button as you drag the corner, or as you drag, that doesn't work. Press the Shift button as you drag the corner, and it will say the same dimensions. It won't get too fat, it won't get too skinny. Okay, that looks good, but I prefer this font. So we can easily change the font, and there's different choices for you to have. The one that I used for this flyer is called Bangers. You might not have that as a choice. If not, just go to More Fonts, and you could type in Bangers and check it to get the exact same font as me. Cool. I'm going to make that a little bit bigger. So again, I'm going to press Shift so it doesn't stretch it out or make it look weird. Give it a little bit of a margin. The printer doesn't print super close to the edges, so by making some white area around it, the printer won't cut it off when we print it. Now to give it sort of a cool colored effect, you can only do that because it's word art. So as you see, it's dark and light. So I'm going to go up here to the paint bucket. I could make it red, but if I choose gradient and I choose this red, it's like dark and light and pretty cool looking. Yeah, that looks nice. All right, now I want to put a large soccer ball in the center. I'm going to go up to Insert, and I'm going down to Image, Search, type in soccer, and you'll get a lot of choices. If your choices look more like photographs, then you could easily choose clip art. I'm not sure why that's not seeming to work, so I'm gonna, oh, just showed up. Some of the soccer balls might not come in. Like I tried this one earlier and I pressed select. It works now. If you get an error saying that this is not the right file type, no worries, just go back and choose another one. There's plenty. And use the corner again. We don't want to squish the image, so use the corner. You don't have to press shift on an image, just on word art. And you'll notice that there's a little red guideline that snaps into place that tells you that you found the center. Nice. And I want the ball to be large, but just a little bit too large right now. I'd only want it to maybe fill up half the page because I need the second half of the page to write the message for the flyer. That looks good for now. The next part of the page is not going to be word art. Word art's only for titles. So I'm going to use a text box. So you don't have to wait for me to type. I've already typed it out. And when you type it out, you have to type out the same thing. Don't worry about the font size right now. We'll come back at the end and change the font size so it looks more like this flyer. But what you want to do is you want to make sure the beginning is all centered, so you know how to do that. And then when you get to this part, you're going to make sure it's left aligned. Now you can pause the video so you can type this part out. Once you're done typing, make sure you spell things correctly. Make sure you put an extra enter here, an extra enter here. But once you're done typing, then we can change the size so it looks more similar to what you see. Do not press return when you're typing until you get to the end where you need to make an extra return. All right, now things are bigger. So I'm going to highlight this section. And let's try to make it size 24. 24 looks a little bit big. So I'm going to actually change the size. 22 I think would be perfect. Yeah, that looks great. And this is also should be a little bit bigger. So because it's a flyer. When you write an essay, you want size 12, but this is a flyer that you want to make look really nice in case you were really having this type of event going on in school. So you want to make it look a little, nicer, doesn't have to be size 12. So I'm going to make this size 18. It looks a little bit big. I want size 16. Is it on my list? No. So I'll just type in 16. Ooh, that looks perfect. It's a little bit big here, so let me see if I can fix a few things up. I think my soccer ball can be a little smaller. Now I can move this up a little. This space doesn't have to be size 22. So you can change space sizes the same way you change font sizes. Maybe I'll make it size 18. Maybe this one size 6. Oh no, I like it bigger. Edit, undo. It's getting there. I just feel like maybe I should make my box a little wider. Maybe that will help. I'm just playing a little to make it look, I do like it more this size. Let me find the center. There it is. I still feel like it's too far on the bottom. So I know, I'll just make my title a little smaller. Press Shift. Bring up the soccer ball and bring up the text box. Because again, your printer can't print too close to the bottom. So please be careful with that. All right, well, this looks really nice. Let me try a few more things like bolding the center part and also underlining it. You can bold and underline here. You never want to bold everything. If you bold everything, nothing stands out. Down here, we're going to italicize. And now it looks perfect. And there you go. That's how you create a flyer using Google Draw. Looks really professional. Looks better than if you created it on a Word document or a Google document. And you could easily print this and give it out for your next event.